Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've made a video. I feel like I say that every time. It's kind of true though. It has been a very hard couple of months for me mechanically. So I've just had a lot of stuff that had to be done. And I actually ended up getting a new bike and then shortly after ruined it. So I'll talk more about that in a minute. But you'll ever have those months or just times where everything just seems to go wrong when you're working on stuff? Like, that's what it's been like the past 2 months, really. I had to do the front struts, lower control arms, and ball joints, etc. on my car, which that actually went pretty well. I had to do the rear tire change on this bike, which I've changed countless tires, and for some reason I punctured the tube. I know it just happens sometimes, but I was really careful and still punctured that rear tube. So, and at that point I was just so fed up that I just took it to a shop and had them do it. So I guess sometimes you have to know when to just take a step back and let someone else handle it. So to get on to the main story that I want to tell today, let's take a step back 7 years. So 7 years ago, I got a 2008 FZ1 as like a commuter bike, and it was a 2008 with the retro color kit, the anniversary edition color kit. So it's like the pearly white with the red stripes. I'll put a picture up of it right now. So I got that bike for my birthday from my girlfriend 7 years ago, and I had that bike for a few years, loved it, and then ended up selling it because it needed a lot of maintenance, and I just didn't have the money to do it at the time, which honestly, looking back on it, really stupid reason to sell it. And for the next 3-4 years, I was just kind of upset that I sold it, and it was the one that got away, you know. So I spent those few years just kind of being sad about it. I actually didn't really ride that much during that time. I didn't have a bike for a little while. Got more back into riding 2 years, or about a year and a half ago. Got this bike, and I just always wanted my FZ1 back. So we actually looked through my email account, and I found the guy who had bought it from me. I found one email from him, and I hadn't had any of his other contact information. I thought I'd lost it. So I shot him an email, and turns out he had recently sold it to someone else in Kentucky. So he actually was nice enough to give me the current owner's contact information. So I reached out to the current owner, asked him if he ever was interested in selling it, and I got lucky because he hadn't made up his mind yet, but he had been thinking about selling it because it just wasn't exactly what he was looking for. So I told him that if he decided to sell it, let me know. So he eventually did, and I shipped the bike back to me from Kentucky, and I was pretty stoked about it. It wasn't running very well, and all of the maintenance that I had been putting off when I sold it still hadn't been done. So I decided that I would tackle all that maintenance, because I wanted to take it on a trip pretty quick. So I wanted to tackle all that maintenance and get it done so I could enjoy the bike. Well, the maintenance that it needed was, new tires, oil, coolant, but it also needed the valves checked. The valve clearance was checked. So first time I'd done a valve clearance check on a 4-cylinder, so I struggled with it a bit. It was kind of hard, and but I followed the manual. I eventually got through it and figured it out, got it all back together. And on the first ride, I made it halfway down the street before I heard a terrible clattering noise inside the engine, and then the engine seized and the bike died. So you can imagine my frustration. I hadn't even ridden the bike, got halfway down the street, and the engine just blew up or whatever. I have a suspicion that I know what it is. I'm pretty sure the cam sprocket bolt backed out. When I was struggling to get the timing right, I ended up taking those bolts out and trying to realign the cam sprocket, because that's what the manual told me to do. So I tried to do that, and those bolts were terrible to get off. They were on so tight, but the factory torque to retorque them was only 17 foot-pounds, which doesn't seem like much. And it didn't say anything about using Loctite or anything like that in the service manual. So I didn't, and I assumed I was good to go. But I know that's partly on me for not researching before doing that. And, you know, it just kind of sucks. So I have a lot of mechanics regret, mechanics remorse right now. And all of that, oh, look at the little baby ducks. Little baby geese. Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. We're thinking about getting some chickens or some ducks. We want the eggs. But anyways, yeah, so I just all of that like really kind of rocked my self-confidence in terms of mechanics work. And you know, that happened. I put the bike in the garage and I basically haven't touched it since, which I am pretty frustrated with myself for that. But it happens, you know. It's just a problem that a lot more money will fix it, and I just don't have that right now. So I'm debating on if I should just open it up myself, try to fix it, but at the same time, like, I'm just having such bad luck lately in terms of working on stuff. I might just save some money and just take it somewhere when I can afford it. There's a time and a place to try to fix something yourself, and then there's also a time and a place to take it to someone who knows more than you. And I consider myself a pretty good mechanic, but at the same time, like, I don't work on engines very much. It's not my where all my experience has been. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for me to just take it to someone who knows better. But anyways, yeah, so I was really excited about the FZ1, and I'm going to get it fixed at some point, and it will be on the channel. It's a great bike. I rode that thing so much when I owned it. I put like 10,000 miles on it in a year, I think. I loved that bike, and I can't wait to ride it again. But since I can't ride it, and I can't put it in a video right now, I am just going to put up a montage of photos that I took of it years ago when I owned it, and I hope y'all enjoy that. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. I'll get the FZ1 fixed soon, and we'll get that bike out on the roads. See y'all.